Welcome back, Geek fans. It's time for another Shane Watches. And what did Jacob force me to watch this week? I watched Adaptation, directed by Spike Jonze, starring Meryl Streep, Nick Cage, a bunch of other people. Jacob, why don't you explain this movie a bit and tell me why did you recommend this very unusual film to me?
Okay, well, first off, it's pretty hard to explain this movie, just because it's pretty much the most meta movie I've ever seen. So, it's based off this book. What's the book called? It's about flowers.
It's about orchids, but yeah. I can't remember the name. It's something about orchids.
It's based off that book, but really what it's about is it's about the writer of the movie trying to write an adaptation of the book.
Right.
So I think that's the best way I can explain it.
I would explain it as it's about the writer of the movie writing the movie he's in.
Yeah.
Right, so the movie that you're watching is him writing it.
Yeah. Right,
so it's that reveal takes place late in the movie. So like the story starts off, kind of mundane. Like it reminded me a little bit of Being John Malkovich, another Spike Jonze film. Like you're not really sure where it's coming from at first. Like what's going on here? Yeah. So the guy wrote Being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
So he's a famous screenwriter, and now he's been charged with writing this other movie. And this movie is based on the book, like you said. Meryl Streep is a writer. She interviewed this strange kind of hillbilly guy who goes into deep into the Florida swamps to get these rare orchids. As the movie goes along, we start to get more and more reveals about what's going on here. She writes this book. The book doesn't seem to have much going on in it. But Nick Cage's brother in the movie, who's also played by Nicolas Cage, is a twin. He suspects there's something else happening, right? And eventually the reveal is she's having an affair with this man, and it's a very strange affair because the orchids that they get produce a hallucinogenic drug. Yeah. This sounds really crazy and wild, but they really set it up well because they give hints at it. Yeah. Throughout the movie, like weird things are happening, but like something's off.
Yeah. But
you're never quite sure what's off.
Yeah.
But then they slowly reveal things. Eventually, towards the end of the movie, all these disparate characters, Nick Cage and his brother, they come together in Florida with Meryl Streep, with the hillbilly guy. Things go to hell because she's a New Yorker. She's a writer. She's having an affair. She doesn't want things to come to light. This strange drug use that they're doing. That's just bizarre. That'll ruin her reputation. Besides the affair. So she wants to kill Nicolas Cage because she's also high at this time. Like I mentioned, she's actually hallucinating on the drug. She's tripping. Same with the other dude, and everything just goes. It becomes a complete train wreck. Multiple characters die. Yes. There's a lot of tragedy. Jacob, you like this movie, obviously. I'm guessing because you told it to me. What did you like about it?
What drew me to it was the meta aspect of it. But as you get into the film, it's almost like a background thing.
Yeah, it is a background thing, I'd say. Yeah. It's an interesting, creative twist, but it's not central to the story.
Yeah, and then I really got into Nicolas Cage's acting, because as a lot of people know, he's not the best actor out there. He's a lot of just meh performances.
I would say he's an actor that often phones in the roles.
Yes.
Right? It's not that he can't act, is that he's lazy.
Yeah.
Right? That would be a way to describe it. It's not that he doesn't have the talent, because here, it shows he has the talent.
Yeah, Spike Jonze obviously got a very good performance out of him in this movie, because he plays two roles, two brothers who are very different characters.
Yeah, two twins, right? Yeah. And they're very different characters, and he nails them. And actually, at first, I was slightly bothered by his performance. Like, I'm not sure what I think about this. But as the movie went on, everything clicked more and more. I'm like, wow, yeah, okay, that's why he's like this. Okay, that's why that's like that. Right? It made sense. At first, I'm like, well, this kind of doesn't make sense. What's happening, right? Yeah. It's a little confusing. Just like Being John Malkovich, I'm like, wait, what's this for? Yeah. But he keeps tying things together.
And I love the beginning of the movie when he's on set of Being John Malkovich.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then you get a cameo from John Cusack as his character from Being John Malkovich. That was really cool.
It was great, and you had at the very beginning John Malkovich.
Yeah.
He's talking about the set. It's the scene with where he's in his own mind, and there's all the John Malkoviches. Yeah. It's really cool. It's like you said, it's a really meta movie, and like Being John Malkovich, another meta movie. It was really creative.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's all these loose threads. Like there's stories that they don't really seem to be connected to each other. Like, the Meryl Streep character, she's introduced as this the New Yorker writer, and she's interviewing this guy, and then 3 years after the fact, it takes place at different times actually, he's writing things, he's having conflicts with his brother. There's a background element about his brother wanting to become a screenwriter.
And he's actually doing better than he is.
Right, but at first he's not. He's
Yeah.
got something to do with the house, and it's like, oh, this is a peripheral element.
Yeah.
His brother is just an amusing side character. For the first half of the movie, you don't see much of his brother. Right, the Meryl Streep thing. Oh, okay, yeah, she's doing this thing. It's interesting. Right, all these characters don't really have much to do with each other. And then they all come together at the end.
Yeah.
They all gain more and more importance, and the other characters fall away.
Yeah.
Right, it's just such a focus on them four.
I love movies like that. They have all these loose threads. And
Yes.
like seemingly independent stories. And
Yeah,
then
that's
all
what they
come
seem like,
together.
independent stories,
Yeah.
and they all came together at end in an amazing scene in the Florida Everglades, where everything just goes to hell. It's very tragic.
This is an alligator.
Right? Yeah, it is actually, it was amazing the intensity at the very end.
Yeah.
Right. That I was stunned by that.
Yeah,
That sheer intensity and emotions happening.
Yeah.
So much tragic things happen. So many. Whoa! What just happened right there?
Yeah.
Craziness happens.
Yeah, they get you hooked into this movie. It seems like a very rational, realistic story, and it's just a guy trying to write a movie, and then at the end of the movie, just totally it's blown way out of proportion. It's crazy.
It gets crazy at the end.
Yeah.
But they always keep it grounded because the acting is so damn good.
I love the scene. I don't want to spoil it, but the scene at the end between Nicolas Cage and his brother. You know the scene I'm talking about.
Yes.
Really, really well done.
Really well done. I had never seen, or I can't remember seeing any major Meryl Streep performance, but I knew how people rave about her.
Yeah.
She was amazing in this movie.
Yeah, she was.
I was floored by a couple of the scenes she was in. Some of the scenes I was floored by weren't even the more emotionally intense scenes, which she was great in. Were some of the more mundane scenes. I'm like, man, it just feels like a real person doing this. It's like, it's a reporter. There's no acting here. It's just, okay, I'm just buying this. It's like watching Daniel Lewis. It's like, they're a person.
Yeah.
Right? It's so weird. And then when she has these more dramatic roles, or when she starts using this strange hallucinogenic drug, right? I'm like, man, this is really wild, but I'm also buying it.
Yeah.
Right? The hillbilly guy, at first I'm like, oh, look, he's kind of whatever, he's silly, and then some of the scenes he's in are crazy.
Yeah.
And then when he starts talking, and the scene at near the end of the movie, where he's like, I'm not a killer, and he's having this eternal conflict in the swamp. I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. And Spike Jonze does a lot in his movies. He likes to add little scenes with comedy in them.
Yeah.
There's that one scene where Nicolas Cage is talking to his editor, and the editor's not even paying attention. He's like, I had sex with that girl.
Yeah.
I
I fucked that girl up the
Yeah.
ass. That's what he said.
I just really like how Spike Jonze is able to add all these different dimensions into one single film.
Yes.
And you have the meta aspect. You have just Nicolas Cage being a great actor. You have Meryl Streep in there. You have this comedy stuff. He just adds so much into his movies, and I think that's why he's one of my favorite directors now. After watching Being John Malkovich and The Adaptation, he's just become one of my favorite directors of all time.
Yeah, Jacob. I told you after watching Being John Malkovich that the movie was great. I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah.
Right, it's his masterpiece. But even then, I still wasn't that interested in seeking out more work because it was just so different from what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
When I'm going to sit down and watch a movie or do something, I want it to be pretty confident I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to waste my time. So I pick things that I'm interested in beforehand. Now after seeing Adaptation, I'm like, wow, this guy, okay, he's done it twice. He's really good. So I'm like, I might actually seek out more of his films. I don't know. But Jacob, what would you rate this film?
I would rate this film, honestly, 9.5 out of 10.
Just give it a 10. I don't get it.
It's not perfect. No film's perfect.
That doesn't even make sense on how art works.
It's just that's just my rating.
Your score sucks. My score is, again, 5 stars. This is a masterpiece. This is the highest level of creative genius. I am someone that likes to do creative things, a musician. I want to be a filmmaker in my own right. If I could make a 5-minute scene that just had, just some of what this is in this movie, I would be so thrilled with myself. because this is truly an artist at work, a true creative genius.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing.
I don't even know how he could come up with this idea.
Right, it's so good.
And really, it's the writer, because he chose to write the movie this way. He was like, he was like, okay, I can't figure out how to come up with a way to adapt this book, so I'm going to write the movie about the struggle of adapting this book.
It's a brilliant film. If you're a person interested in any kind of creative exercise, I actually would recommend watching this.
Yeah.
Because it's really all about creativity, because he's doing so many things outside the box, right? There's other shows and movies and stuff that I really like, and I would give 5 stars, and I think are masterpieces. But a lot of times they're more traditional. They follow more best practices. He does a lot of weird stuff. So go watch Adaptation if you haven't seen it. If you're at all a film fan, you should watch this.
Yes.
That's my recommendation. Jacob, it is now time for me to force you to watch something.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I'm going to cudgel you over the head if you don't watch this. Watch Elizabeth, starring Cate Blanchett. It's about Elizabeth's rise to power.
Another historical drama. Jacob, let me warn you, this is a very stylized movie. But anyways, we'll save that for next time on a Jacob Watches. This has been Geeks the Movies. We will talk to you later.